Hey everyone, Adam Maitland. Want to talk to you a little bit more about why I decided to design customized teachables. Two of my big reasons are one, I love to collaborate. I constantly find myself working with other teachers, gaining great ideas, sharing with how they might be able to enhance something they're doing or what I can do to better to prepare my students. Some of my best collaborations have happened in hallway conversations where I see a fourth grade teacher walking by and they're like, "Oh, I've been meaning to talk to you about a writing lesson plan." And then I start the conversation with what they're looking at trying to do, and then I try to incorporate that when I was in my second grade classroom, and even now when I'm in my special ed classroom. So my goal with customized teachables is not only to help design and create things that are easy for you to put in place in your classroom, but also to help collaborate and make learning better for students and to also help enhance my own teaching. So some of the things I also wanted to talk about is how I can go about helping or changing or even manipulating some of the materials we're using in a classroom. One of the things that I have the hardest time with is workbooks. I tend to find some that I like, and they have parts that I want, but parts that don't make sense, or the questioning's not right for what I'm trying to accomplish in my classroom. I'm constantly getting those Common Core workbooks that oh, we have great questions, we have great text, and sometimes they have great questions and terrible text, and sometimes they have great text and terrible questions. So what I do is I find the things that I like or the topics that I'm looking at. I tend to focus on science and social studies so that I can incorporate them as much as possible throughout the day and integrate it into their STEM projects and into their reading and their writing. So I'll take those workbooks, I'll look at the different components that are there, and then I'll put them into the formats like I've shown before, where I have that text that I like, and then I can change the questions to what I want them to be. I can put the standard next to it so that if I'm being evaluated, it's easy for my evaluator to see that everything's standard aligned. I can connect it to my phonics lessons. The sight words can be directly taken from the text. My grammar skill can also be part of that text instead of it being four different lessons. So I really like taking those different types of materials. Even the curriculum our districts buy. I'll take the time, I go through it, I'll look at the different components, and I'll see how I can align it even more. Because sometimes, they don't get it right. And so as teachers, we're constantly having to recreate what they did so that it makes more sense in our classroom. I really wish that the curriculum designers would just say like, "Hey, here's all your stuff, and here's some templates. You put it into the way you put it together the way you think it would work best for your classroom," and then we could just share those. So with that, I take workbooks, I take curriculum, I'll even take books. And like I said, I'm big on the STEM, science, and social studies materials. So I'll get chapter books or fun read books, and I'll go through them, and then I break those down into the different components as well. Okay, so this would be my whole group lesson. Now, I've mentioned in some posts that I do a lot with a binder system. My binder system is basically my students' entire day in their binder so that I never have to hand out a piece of paper unless it's a test or something. So I create my templates. Now, this is one of my newest additions because I was still making something for each subject. And I was trying to align it, but it was really hard for the kids to kind of grab onto. So I wanted it even more aligned. So I got everything on one page. I'm big on one page, but that doesn't work for everybody. So again, you got your text, which is right from the book. And then I modified it because, as I said, I'm teaching special ed right now. So the sentences are spaced one per line. You have a little bit bigger font, easier to read font, so that I can get my students to be more accommodating when we get into that complex text. I got vocabulary skills that I'm teaching throughout. We got handwriting, we got phonics patterns, we got spelling words, we got sight words, we got sentence dictation, which uses all these words to write a sentence as independently as possible. I got grammar skills, and then I have the reading questions. And so this is an entire chapter from one of the books that we're reading. It's a fifth grade level book that I'm reading with my special ed first, second, and third graders, and they're loving it. And I modify my instruction, I scaffold what they need so that they can be successful, but the kids just get into it, and they're starting to make those connections between all the subjects. They're identifying grammar skills, they're identifying their spelling words, and we're learning to decode a lot better. And then it finishes up with a quick check, kind of. We got 5 multiple choice questions, which could easily be manipulated to other types of questions. It just multiple choice works best right now for my kiddos. And then there's a written response. And so that's all in their binder. Previous, like I said, I did per subject, so they had a tab per subject. Now they just got a reading section, a writing section, a math section, and a STEM section. So they just go right through their day, and it makes it so nice and easy. On top of all that, with being able to create those formats, I can also just create the blank documents for you. You don't have to use any of the stuff that I'm choosing for my reading material. If you like the way that the writing format looks, I can send you the blank document or create one that fits your teaching style. I have the small group. I have the question style for those quick checks. And then I have also for the whole group. So there's tons of formats I can make for you. If there's certain ways that you teach your class and you're like, if I could just have it set up this way, I can make it a lot more efficient for their learning, I can create that for you. Just schedule your free consultation with Customized Teachables. You can reach me through the Facebook page, or you can send me an email at customizedteachables@gmail.com. And we'll get together, we'll collaborate, we can do it right through video, we could do it over the phone, or we could even do it through email. I'll show you samples so I get exactly what your idea is down onto paper, and then we'll get it together and get it into your classroom. So schedule today, and hope to collaborate with you soon. Bye.